Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Good Show, the most professional esport talk show. Very calm, very professional, just overall good. We talk about esports, powered by Asus, a lot of pre-production in the show, a lot of preparation, and we're here with you.
Tonight.
Yeah. How's it going? What are you laughing at?
Because I normally see you, James, but like... Crashes with the fucking camera and this thingy.
Well,
thingy.
You know what's really
Your
cool?
Your eyes are blacked out for me.
You know what's really
You don't have this contact, man.
You know what's really cool for me though is like where you are, I get you in the preview cam, so I've got a mini Hellspawn on your forehead right now. Speaking of professional, just want to declare already, it might look like I've just woke up. It's true. In fact, just to give you an inkling of what I'm going to be doing for the show, I've prepared two things as part of the pre-production of the show.
Is that why you asked for that pen?
I've got
the laser
paper. This is new. We're using this now.
Blank and nice.
And I've got something for the beginning of the show, and I prepared something for the end of the show, and they're both equally shit. But the end of the show one's really good.
I'm so excited now.
So actually, I'm really... you're in charge. So can you do the... You okay doing the lists when we get to it?
Yeah, we're fine with that.
Okay, right. I've got my segments. Be quiet till then.
Are you lasering your balls today?
No, not lasering my balls.
He's getting mentally prepared for it.
I've been working out.
Does it look like it?
That's lots of cardio. What was I going to say? Welcome back, guys, in the corner.
Thank you.
Did you miss your corner?
Yeah, I like this corner.
Yeah, me too. I watched last show. I was fucking ill. I'm still ill, so if I'm going to cough or my voice will break this show, it might happen, because I'm not the best. Although I don't have any fever anymore, so that's good.
I mean, you like talking, so I guess your voice is going to be a bit...
I have a very strong but sensitive voice.
Mm-hmm. Don't force it. Use your belly.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Sing the words.
I'll do my bit at the beginning of the show. This isn't much pre-production. I just announced it. So you may know that we actually started doing something. We started selling these, right? These are our Good Studio mouse pads. You've seen them. You've fallen in love with them. Mingles has slept on them. We think. And so we ended up putting them on the shop, right? And what happened was, I haven't really told anybody this, and I thought Trance is going to go a bit mental. We put them on the shop, and we put them on for their price, which is $29.99. Which is what they charge for the CT's Q-Pad, because they're awesome. And then there was a 10 to 11 euro shipping cost. And so it's 40 euro for a whole mouse pad. And we put it up, and I read the Reddit thread, and everyone was like, that's quite a lot for a mouse pad. And I'm like, it's quite a lot. So I had a little snooping round, and was like, okay. So I went on to Dignitus's website, and there were 20 fucking euro with free shipping. And I was like, well, that's okay, because they're obviously shitter than our mouse pads. And I asked Odie, I was like, how do you get this? And he's like, part of sponsorships, etc. So anyway, I decided to be less of a corporate asshole. Actually, we're going to go into that later as part of my New Year's resolution. I've got a New Year's resolution list for the end of the show. It's fucking fantastic. Stick around for it. And I decided that from the cut that we would get, obviously there's a production cost of rough 10 euro, then QPAD get 10 euro, when we get 10 euro, and then the shipping company gets 10 euro. And I thought, well, I don't really care about the money for the mouse pads. So what we've done is I've asked QPAD if they could make them 10 euro cheaper, which was now, what was it before? Is it 19, like 20 euro now. And the €10 that we were going to get from profits, we've just given you €10 discount. So they're actually the cheapest mouse pads for the same.
So they're still more expensive than Dingus ones.
Yeah, but you get yours for fucking.
Oh yeah!
You get yours for free because it's part of your sponsorship deal. Yeah, you do.
I can sum it up.
Buy a Dingus one.
Over there, bad
€5
business.
cheaper.
Over here, good business.
No, it's not bad business. Fuck you. Because I figured, right, what's cooler in business is making sure people have the access to buy something that's not overpriced in terms of, they feel like they're getting a good deal, right? Because we're not going to fucking become millionaires off selling mouse pads, so fuck the profits, okay? Our sponsors, QPad, they're fucking awesome. And the fact is, if we're working with a sponsor, we want them to be able to see that by supporting us, they have good things happen, and they're likely to reinvest the money into us on sponsorships on a year-to-year basis. So we're more happy. QPad make money from the sponsor. You guys get a cheaper deal, and there's lots of victory cats on everyone's table. And so
Good business. I changed my mind.
yeah, that is good business.
Yeah, I agree.
It's marketing,
Yes.
and yeah, so there you go.
But
So
I guess if you get the mousepad from Team Ignitas, then it's Odie actually who's done all the stuff and sent it.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
I mean, the CEO
Odie.
does all itself.
So these,
packaging,
so these are on the
sending,
these
your
are
name
on
label.
these are on. I'm trying to market here, guys. Shut up. These are on
No one wants-
qpad.se. They spice up your life.
Isn't that another?
Spice up your life.
Huh? Marlin, could you come model this for us, please? Please, please, please. Is it because I'm too sexy? Because I've been working out at the gym. Damn.
You made her blush.
I've had that problem with girls lately. They just don't seem to be coming near. I think it's because of my sex appeal. Oozing it. They don't trust themselves.
2 meters radius, otherwise you're screwed.
Talk
And
about
you're
that
getting
later
screwed.
in my New Year's resolution, how I'm going to fix it. But yeah, they're on the qpad.se. So we're more, like the way you work with sponsors is you want them to be successful because they've helped us. And so we're more than
And
happy
they're
to give up
really-
our share. You want to show it?
On the side.
On the site?
You didn't even mention the hoodies, man. Like,
And to be honest,
It's
I
not
mean,
gonna work.
I think you're a marketing genius.
he's a brilliant man. We all
Right.
know
Fucking
this.
brilliant, man.
Yeah, doesn't matter. They're on the qpad.se, and there's also some.
There's links in the chat. There's links in the chat. Some people have been linking to the Good Studio merchandise.
Yeah.
There's also the hoodies
Huh?
for sale now too.
Oh yeah, we got the hoodies. Oh yeah, and I explained about the hoodies. Everyone was like, if they were in yellow, would have bought them. Because we got hoodies and we got the white logo. But the thing is, the reason I did them in white was because we had them in white when they gave them to us. And I always feel like people who saw that and wanted that would want to get that. And then, so we're going to talk to them about putting the yellow logo up as well.
Yeah,
so if you
that's
want to
what I was-
hold off and you don't want that kind of hoodie with the white thing, you can wait a little bit. We'll probably get the yellow one sorted. Got to order in a lot of ink. Basically, and learn how to mix yellow. How do you make yellow?
I want to promote also.
Yeah,
If you go to maxfps.se, you can buy a QPad mousepad with Rakaka, like the coolest brand within the world.
What's in the
And
bottom?
it's really nice.
What's at the bottom of the screen there? I think that's the Good Studio. Get
Nice.
the fuck out of here, Hellspawn. with that
nice
shit.
try, Hellspawn.
it's cheaper than your mousepad as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
actually,
really nice.
Max FPS. They asked if they could sell our mouse pads, so I'll probably say yeah. Anyway, and that is the end of me doing my beginning segment. So I just wanted to explain why that happened. So we actually listened to you guys. I read the Reddit and I was like, fuck it. And then we lowered the price. And the hoodies will all be in 2 colors, hopefully, in the near future. And QPad are awesome, even though this show, as we like to mention, is powered by Asus. I'm sounding a bit sellout-y right now, don't I?
Yep.
But Asus are also cool. We haven't done anything sexual with each other
No.
to get this sponsorship with Asus, but we would, needless to say, because they are fucking cool people. Go gay for Asus. They're the good stuff. All right, ready?
I'm in trouble.
We're good now, man. What a start.
Let's go.
All right, TV shop time over.
James, the business
Get into
boy.
the news. Well, I had to explain it because it was weird for people. There were €30, there were €20.
Oh, they're
No one's buying them,
now.
we're
I think
giving
they do
away
ship
free.
internationally as well. So if
All
you're
right,
from the
yeah.
States or Canada or wherever,
I mean-
I think you can still buy them and get them shipped over to you. So
I think
the mouse pads and the hoodies.
I think the Dingus mousepads are worldwide free shipping as well.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah,
What the
they
fuck? Who has
Winning.
removed stuff in this document?
I didn't touch it. I'm just looking now. Wait, what's...
I filled it up with League of Legends stuff and it's all gone now.
I really have nothing to do with it. Contrary to popular belief, I didn't.
Someone deleted all the League of Legends content from the...
No, they got their own segment now.
He just
Cool.
scrolled down too far.
shit.
Shit, yeah.
Trent didn't see that. That would have made the life.
Didn't see that coming, bitch.
It's fine.
All right, let's get into the news, guys. We do news, esport news. Semmler, take us away.
All right,
Where are we
guys.
starting?
We're going to start with... we have two major topics to start off with, not related to any game in particular. But to start things off, we have ESL making a big announcement this week, along with Raid Call, starting 2 new leagues. And this is the ESL announces the Raid Call EMS1 for Dota 2 and CSGO. Both, I think the real big selling point for these leagues, though, is that the total prize pool between the two of them is 312k USD. For both of these games, 312k. It's actually 156, I believe, each, but 312 total, which is fucking amazing considering. So that's actually pretty much the biggest prize pool for Dota 2 apart from the international, I believe, if I'm not mistaken on that.
I think it was, I think that someone stated in the comment it was the largest kind of amount of money going into Dota 2 prize pool from one tournament or organisation outside of the international, which
Kind
is
of hard
correct.
to top the international.
This is spread over 4 events though, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
but over a year it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 40k per event basically.
And I think they're
I'm just
starting-
thinking
they're
maybe
starting
Starladder
in-
is close to that. Count out all of
No,
their... No, they might not be. I don't know.
no, Starladder is...
No, Starladder, they give like 10k an event or something.
Yeah, like 10,
It's a
15,000.
pittance in comparison,
But
it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
and actually, yeah, because Vlad actually messaged
Yeah.
Carmack on Twitter, said, you know, what
Pay
about
the
that, what
five-
about that 300,000 you guys are?
Yeah,
price
pay
money
that
over
out
5 to
first.
6 years, yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of Dota 2 and CSGO, it's huge. Also, Raid Call, getting quite, I wouldn't say aggressive, but everywhere. Viral.
I would say super aggressive.
Okay.
The title
fine.
sponsor of
Very
Fnatic
aggressive.
and EG, and now they are sponsoring this huge.
Yeah,
And
so
what
this
more?
is their... I mean, this is, I guess, their first venture into Europe. Unless you count Fnatic as European, I don't at the moment.
They might have done something, but I don't recall though.
Well, I'm actually very
A
busy.
Raid Call event.
I'm very interested in the strategy implications that this has for ESL. Because look at it this way. Starters, I kind of knew that they were looking for Dota 2 and CSGO guys, and obviously Red Eye was hired for multiple reasons. You know, he doesn't just do his social media stuff and all the work he does behind the scenes, but, you know, really good host, and also Counter-Strike Go commentating. You've got Joe Miller.
Yeah.
Kind of knew they were looking for Dota 2 people. Apparently, it's they're looking to pick up an American who's not that well known right now. So they're not. None of the big star Dota 2 commentators are looking to be picked up.
Isn't
what's
that kind
int-
of strange though?
No, but that's usually their strategy as well. They don't pick up one of the major ones. I mean,
Yeah,
look
they
when
like
picked
to
up
build
they
their
picked up
brand,
Mr.
yeah.
Bitter in Rotterdam, and then they had Cavaris
Yeah.
and someone else as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
So
but
they usually
still-
go for the smaller ones and have like a more like a...
I mean, they
But-
used to.
but-
They
but
used
stream of
to. They
content
used to
with
pick up big commentators.
they never did.
Yeah, they did. They used to
Never
pick
did.
up
They
really
never
big
did.
commentators, but it probably didn't work
Never
out
did.
so well. Go
I
on,
don't know what
Hellspawn.
you're talking about though.
I joined ES as a
Some
commentator.
minor World of Warcraft
I was saying that I was big.
Yeah, but I
Asshole.
think that in Dota it's not so many commentators that do have a monthly salary and going to a lot of events compared to StarCraft. I mean, when they signed their first StarCraft 2 team, that was Rotterdam, I think, first, and then Mr. Bitter came into it. I mean, the top tier like Day 9 or Tastes of Torsos were already making so much money, so it wasn't feasible for them to bring them in. I mean, in Dota, I don't see like
I mean, I don't think they
the
can...
low monthly salary and getting the best guy in the industry or top 5 guy shouldn't be like
you can't
super
compare it,
jump.
but, I mean, you can't compare it like that. But I
It's
think
more
they-
actually to
they
do
usually go
with.
for the maybe the underdogs a bit more, and unknowns.
It's a war as well.
People
Like
they
some
can
of the
work and build
some of
with.
the Dota 2 guys are interested in running their own brand and company. Okay, beyond
Yep.
the summit, and Draskell's with us, and we were happily, we do any ESL content from here, sure, but if they want to do it in house, that's great. But the implications, in my opinion, that are interesting from this move, is that EMS looks like it's moving into a focus again for ESL to have a European center and tour. outside of probably, because EPS, you know, it's a great product, but it's German only. Can't be that appealing for them. Intel Extreme Masters, very global product. EMS, this will have LAN finals, so 4 stops. Can't, you know, there's no guarantee that they're all going to be just in Germany by the offices. They might go around, and it actually looks like it's a similar model to the DreamHack. No, not similar model, but like, think of it this way. You guys, all right, let's put it this way. DreamHack went into Europe with StarCraft 2, yeah? And they were like, we're fucking best in Europe at productions and doing these LAN events, yeah? ESL have now got money from Raidcool. They've got 2 games, Dota 2 and CSGO, so it's not like it's StarCraft as well. And I reckon they're going to have that as their focus to build their brand and shows around Europe and actually get that market hold back a little bit in terms of their image, sponsors, and reputation, because you saw what they did at Poland, etc., and how well they did it. But I think it's a new strategy for them. Like this is like a different type of EMS than we've seen before.
Well, something that needs to be pointed out as well before you know, as you're talking about the European market, is that only European teams can actually compete in this.
Yes,
so
that's true.
It's not open to the US. It's not open to China. Max 3. You have to have at least 3 European members on your team for it to be a valid team to compete. So that is actually what you need to point out as far as like tying into the European market. That's what's important here. It's only Euros. Yeah,
I mean, and you know, obviously the Good Studio A team, Dota team is going to enter. We actually purposely lost some staff recently to hide our tactics, and we haven't been streaming our scrims, but we'll talk about that later with Draskell and wEppas, who we're going to blame. But yeah, so it's huge though. It's a huge tournament.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see as well, because they usually didn't put that much of an effort into EMS. EMS was usually like the game for the smaller games. Yep. There have been like EMSs for CSGO, not CSGO, CSOurce, Quake Live, Trackmania,
but this is
like
huge.
That. And they usually put the big stuff on IEM. Yep. It seems like they've basically been stuck with IEM. They can't really move it forward. They've been stuck in doing these trade events all over the world. I think EMS might be their...
Yeah, I think EMS is going to be the...
get the throne back in Europe and maybe expand
and I also think that EPS has been, like Tim said, in Germany really successful. In some other countries, I think Poland, maybe Austria has been kind of good. In Nordic part has never really succeeded. They've tried several times, but
Israel has also had a hard time in the Nordics.
And I don't know how it has been in England or so, but I think this EMS format, I really like it. It's a lot of online content, both ladders and cups. They take away the pros, but they also make a lot of good teams to play, you know, weekly content with the ESL platform. I think it's interesting to see it's 2 Valve titles. You can see maybe Valve has shipped in money, or maybe not. At least it's 2 Valve titles. I think the CSGO with Europe is good, going to be very strong. Dota, I would say that the Americans and the Asian could have joined in. I don't really understand the regional part.
They don't have the manpower to do it in America at the moment, I think, if they want to do LAN finals.
What I meant is that teams could play in it and go to the finals.
Yeah, but I kind of like that as well, because I think they want this continental build-up where they have the champion of Europe, the champion of Sweden, the champion of Europe, and then stuff like that. So the continental champions can meet. So you have that build-up over a year. I think that's a really good thing they've made, to be honest.
It's a good move. Crazy a lot of money. Good to see all over the year content.
I also think it's quite interesting to see that they didn't pick League of Legends for this. Looking at the ESL has always been the biggest League of Legends organizer in Europe.
Yeah.
So it's weird that
Did you hear, NewmaN? Riot are making the first real esports league, man. That's why they didn't pick it up.
First real esports league?
Yes, that's what they actually tweeted. Yeah, the first real esports. I shit you not.
But I don't. I guess we can talk about it before. But it's announced.
We know they're the second after TGS, so.
Okay. We know today that ESL would do the season 3.
And all that.
We know that ESL would do season 3 in Europe, so they already have the league. Why do another weekly league with it?
Okay. So anyway, we said earlier that it was only open.
Let me. Okay, so guys, we said earlier that it was only European teams that were able to participate in this tournament. That's actually not true.
We lied. He lied
to you.
And I confirmed his lie. We're a duo.
You confirmed. You were able to click on a fucking hyperlink. Congratulations.
They have no residents in Europe.
So I confirmed your lie as a statement.
As a truth, yeah, okay.
So that's what I meant.
American teams are actually able to participate in the tournament as well. Apparently they listened to the outcry of rage from the American fans, and they've made it available to the American teams as well. So,
so must have
it's going to be a Euro-American tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm guessing the land finals.
Because originally it was European only, and that was something that came out, and so that's what we had in the document. And then we read it out, and then I just saw Metabi and Semmler arguing in the Google Doc, and so Metabi's like, that information isn't right.
It's not so
and then
much arguing,
Semmler's
like, that's not true. Why the fuck is it in the document then? I don't know. Okay, good.
You can't shout at Metabi, man.
Well, why not? I mean, shit, man. If we have fucking wrong shit in the document.
I guess that's good, but I don't know. Would be fine. I think it would be better to have like a European champion and a North American champion, and an American champion.
Well,
I don't like that kind of, you know.
They're incorporating the Americans in it, but they might not. They might have their own section and then qualify to the land final. So don't, I can't. I'm just gonna say, read more about it. It's awesome, and everyone's angry. Whew. What a start to the show.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with IEM after this season, though, and putting this much focus on EMS and doing a lot more for League of Legends this year with Riot.
I think ESL are doing a lot better than they've ever done before in terms of financial income from investors. Not investors, from just sponsors and
business.
Business. I think ESL's business is booming compared to where it's been the last kind of 4 years. I think Semmler's typing to Metabi. He's apologizing right now.
No, I'm saying if we can't trust the doc, regardless of who wrote the info down, I'm going to go back to writing the entire thing myself.
You mad?
I'm a little bit mad right now because who looks like the prick when that sort of thing happens? The guy who fucking talks about the information.
Doesn't
matter. You could have just done it so cool.
Just
be like, hey guys.
Cool. There's doing it fucking real.
Just a minute ago, I told you this, but this just in. I was wrong, but now I'm going to make it right.
I think they announced it as European though, but with a sidetrack of Asia and America.
Okay, anyway, either way, it's awesome. It's really kind of big news. We're maybe just bring it up with Draskell and wEppas a little bit later, and we'll ask wEppas if it's awesome, and he'll obviously say yeah.
That's going to be it.
No, yep.
And ESL are looking the strongest they've been going into 2013, and it'll be really interesting because I know they've got the budgets to hire like 2 Dota 2 commentators. They've been looking. They asked me a little bit, but now they've announced Dota 2, I can say that because it's obvious that they're doing it, and I just put them in touch with everybody. So we'll see who's going to commentate it and stuff. But it's more important about the teams and the prize pool and etc. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on, we're going to talk about MTW now officially closing their doors. We talked about this actually the past 2 weeks running now. We kind
of predicted it, didn't we?
Well, we kind of predicted it. It's really, it's kind of beating the dead horse in a sense because we've talked about it for 2 weeks now. It's been kind of just like when, more than a question of if or how or why. So it's official now. MTW are out of it, out of the race, out of the fight. And there's a few talking points to be actually made here as far as the legacy is concerned. There was talks about him continuing, if not continuing the team under the same name, then starting up a new team. And I'd actually like to get your opinions on that as to whether it's the right move to make. Has he pissed away all of his trust that he has with everybody that he's been working with, seeing as how he was not able to make do on the first team around? Or is it a good idea to continue?
Who are you talking about now?
We're talking about MTW and his founders right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So MTW, 15 years, esport team have gone under. The one thing I find the most interesting about this, and it's Foreign, I think, that message it. Because in their statement, they were like, yeah, the way esport is, the way that with running a team in esports isn't as viable anymore. Foreign said, why do when people, go under or, bankrupt, whatever you want to call it, end up blaming everyone else apart from themselves?
It's a really good point.
Did they really say that?
Yeah, that's what Foreign said on Twitter. Oh, okay. And I read it and I was like, yeah, because it's like you've got this esport team. The business model can change or be harder at times, but then you just adapt to it. And so for them to have to go under, and they've always been a very reputable team in terms of payments and being able to send people everywhere, it probably got to one of those points where they weren't only not able to support their players, but weren't even able to pay their management. Because if you look at German organizations, they are quite keen on having their management and structure within the team, at least getting something to run it. And so when it must have broke that point, no go. And of course, with a lack of sponsors and income coming in, But to me, in my opinion, I think they could have just adapted and just been like, right, we're doing this, which is we're going to cut back to fucking bare minimum, and we're going to build up again from the get-go in terms of maybe we'll just take German teams and German players, and then we'll do build, and move on. So I was kind of surprised that they literally were just like, we're done. Really surprised.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, well, I think they had a lot of outstanding debt, really. That's why they didn't want to continue, I guess. Because they didn't have the income to keep paying people.
I also think that like MTW was so strong during the early 2000 and mid 2000. And I think that not only MTW but a lot of the German organizations have had trouble in the late 2000. They haven't really got on the new wave of esports in the 2010s.
They were too dependent on the German market and the German EPS system, basically.
Yeah.
I remember in the old days, I mean, people would buy EPS slots for 10,000, 20,000 euro.
Really? Buy into EPS?
Yeah, people could buy EPS slots for teams. I mean, it was really huge EPS in Germany for 1.6 for a while. Yep. And it seems like it's died down, and with that dying down, a lot of the organizations, depending on the EPS, I mean, they're crumbling as well. Mouse is doing a lot worse than before.
Yep.
MTW is doing worse.
SK, Alternate. I don't think...
Alternate as well, for sure.
Yeah, I think that all of these old and... I mean, that was the core. The best teams, the best players were within these four German organizations. Maybe I'm forgetting someone. Maybe something has been added. But overall, I mean... If you join the German organization, if you were the best in the Counter-Strike team. Counter-Strike,
I mean, the German teams were usually the ones that picked up all the talent, like you said.
Yeah. And for Warcraft 3 and so on. And like I said, I think that maybe esports within Germany has not had the same leverage or development as the rest of the esport world have had the last 3 years, or the American esport world. So maybe it's something that's
a hard time being more international.
I will definitely say as well and that's a good point as well about how to be as international as you can as an organization to move forward. But interestingly enough, do you compare the strength of ESL and their products in Germany to give strength to those teams to get their sponsors? Because this is something we talked about this a little bit before, but I'm basically saying ESL drop German coverage. They do their EPSs, but they don't have those German commentators that you see weekly, Pre for Counter-Strike and Take that used to do like Warcraft 3. So you had all this audience build up and all this hype, and then you had your big German finals at EPS, which attracted sponsors. And if sponsors weren't able to get on EPS itself because there was conflicting sponsors, obviously the teams were like next in line, right? So do you think just because... do you think that's a correlation? The ESL going more European and obviously keeping their brand strength with Internet Extreme Masters, and EPS probably not making the online coverage side and appeal to sponsors has affected the German teams, and they've not been able to adapt to a more international scene?
If I go first, I don't know about German EPS that well, so I can answer that question. But I would say though that I don't think that ESL are the ones to blame for this decline. More that maybe all other esports outside of ESL hasn't developed in the same way as the rest of the world. I think I wasn't
blaming like ESL. I was saying ESL's business directly affects the teams in Germany. How true do you find that to be?
Yeah, I think definitely that's true. I mean, there's a big correlation between those two things, and I think ESL. I'm not sure how much they basically cut the budgets for the EPS stuff in Germany, but I think the rest of the esports world has basically caught up and basically moved on as well. I think the German teams tried to compete with international teams for players, but they didn't have the budgets for it.
I mean, you had players like Sase joining Alternate, going to Germany to play EPS at points, and so on and so forth. So, and now you go to Korea, or have had like that for the last 2-3 years.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, so MTW to shut down. I wouldn't be surprised if they come back, similar to Semmler from the keyboard. How's it going? Being AFK.
What's up, Mark? Chilling, bro. Chilling. Saw Mark's tits, so I'm happy with life right now. It's all good.
If anybody doesn't know who Mark is, that's Semmler's new friend.
Mark's awesome, man.
Yeah?
I mean, it's Mark Oblish from Blizzard.
Yeah.
Don't say that. That was less funny.
No, it's not. No, it's you just ruined the joke. This could have been any Mark. This didn't have to be Mark. From
Yeah.
Blizzard. This could have been Mark from
No, but
Frankfurt.
he agreed
And we
with what
we
they were
don't,
saying about
we
German.
don't mention Blizzard people on the show.
Never.
Those assholes.
Serious.
And then, and of course, the Dota 2 team, knock-on effect. Cinderin and his team have left. They're going to stay a team, and I'm talking to them to see what they're up to next, but they're waiting on an organisation, apparently. So let's move on. That's MTW, so we'll see what happens in the future.
What the hell is this?
What the head is what?
What?
Is
Okay.
this fake?
Apparently.
Yeah. And I,
Oh my god, this is just too much.
No
It's
way.
severance all over.
Mind blown.
No
real
way.
time.
oh, MLG have announced that they're going to create their own first-person shooter.
Okay, can
So
I
there's
just,
so many jokes to be made.
James, can I just start with this segment? Okay, so there were an American league called the CPL.
Yeah, I
They're
know.
dominating everything within esports.
Can we just show the website?
Wait,
Let's show the website first, just so people can see, right? And then you can do it.
I can
This
talk at the
is
same time, right?
Penny Arcade report. So PAX, MLG.
Isn't this a bullshit
Look at this.
PLANETSIDE thing?
There's
though?
consoles, but we can't say that's a picture related to them. It might be PC. We have to read it. Let me have a look. I'm just going to skim over it. I'm going to skim over it while you tell
Oh,
your
is
funny
it-
story.
It's a planet.
This could be a bullshit PLANETSIDE esports buzzword thingy.
Aha, alright, then it's good. But anyway, CPL, they were esports in the Western world. All the big tournaments in Europe, all the big tournaments in America were CPL. Counter-Strike, Quake, Warcraft 3 and so on. Then on the decline of everything, when everything almost went to shit, they said, okay, let's do an FPS game called Serenity.
It's all come to light.
Let's bring in John Romero from id Software previously, creator of Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein, level designer, and also a lot of like the spirit and the feel of the game. A hero of mine, but that game didn't really happen, and he went on to form Ion Storm and Daikata, I think was the game. That was
Daikatana?
Daikatana, who was like the biggest fail of the year, even bigger than Duke Nukem Forever or so. But I think that as an esport organizer or a league, going to make your own game, that's just completely stupid.
It's not. It's not.
Although this is PlanetSide 2,
I mean,
it's
from,
like
a
they're gonna
business
support
from a
them.
business standpoint, it's a really good thing.
Well, no, it's brilliant because now we know where James's investment money is coming from. We know. It's out in the open now, people.
Busted!
MLG reborn.
Right. No. Anyway, let me just clarify stuff because I've read the
MLG
document
Buckboy.
and it's English. Basically, they're talking about like why a fast-paced FPS shooter would be good. Duh. For esports, and then they asked the question, so why not create the game yourself? And they said, one day we will. One day we will. But we
right.
have to. We had people approach us about it. Right now, we're focusing on our partners like PlanetSide 2, etc. But then, you know, they said with the rise of esports, MLG's large audience, and knowledge of how to package and sell a competitive experience, we may see the return of a skill-based Twitch shooter. And Sundance said he loves like Quake and that kind of thing. And if he mentioned he wanted to make one, people would think of him as mad.
Although he's right on that part. Like, esports need a 1-on-1 FPS fast.
I'm fucking doing it. I've got investment.
And he is mad. He
And I
is
am
mad.
mental.
So it's perfect. It works out great. So
But,
that's
you know,
fine.
they can do it too, man. That's fine by me.
Yeah, but I thought they were doing it, but they just say they might do
They
it.
might. Yeah, we will. We will.
Shit,
I might do one as well.
Holy shit, that means.
my brain went like, 360, 720, just spinning.
Yeah, I thought this was an announcement. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
me
shit.
too.
But no, this is just them creating more hype and buzz around MLG, I guess. Like, oh, okay, let's talk about it for
Yeah,
about a whole
fucking
5
damn.
minutes. And then
Yeah, but they
Write
say
it
it's
off.
inevitable.
What
so
do you think about the PlanetSide thing, though?
who says it's inevitable? Who says it's
Well,
inevitable?
that's the title.
Okay, well, the title is not necessarily what MLG Sun
You
is
asked
saying.
about PlanetSide 2?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Dignitas is a esport team coming from Battlefield, like 500 versus 500 kind of style.
It's 8 on
The funny thing about
Okay.
the funny thing about MLG that I really like about them is they're like the slow one. They're like the slow kid. You know what I mean? You can't hate them too much. they're going to eventually get it right. Because everything they've done in esports, and I've been following them for a long time, someone else does it, and then they catch up. So it's like, mate, already figured out this FPS esport thing, MLG. It's nice, though, that you've also figured it out and got an interview. And congratulations.
And to tie into this, we have the follow-up article that apparently has just been announced. And it was announced on GameSpot.com. So what's up, Rod Breslau? But apparently PlanetSide is confirmed now for MLG. Yeah. So PlanetSide confirmed as a promotional title.
The game where you pay to win, basically.
Where you pay to win, yeah. And it's a total esport, don't get me wrong. I mean, come on, obviously, if you can put money in it and win, it's great. Confirmed as well as Call of Duty, 50K, and LoL is apparently to be announced. So we don't know how much money LoL is going to be in there, but it's certainly going to have something to do with Season 3.
I tweeted at Sundance today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I like that they go with Call of Duty, and I understand they do not go with Halo 4.
Yeah.
It was a bold decision, I think, but I think it's going to be good for them too.
I think it's a bold decision. I think it's a smart decision. It's the natural decision looking at the publishers and what they're actually doing in esports.
Yep.
So much easier doing stuff in Call.
I
think it's interesting though. It's easier doing things in Call of Duty. I mean, looking at what the kind of features they have in Call of Duty,
sure,
with the streaming and stuff, and the game setups and matches and rankings, whatever. They're really doing stuff in esports as well. They're really
they have been for ages. I mean, COD 4 was a great game. We had a lot of competitors from BLC, in fact, who competed in COD 4 before. So yeah. I
think the interesting thing with MLG is why haven't they announced StarCraft yet?
I think they are going for something special in the opening because the game is released on like the 11th and they have on that weekend.
I'm thinking they're
so
doing
maybe there's something special
show match tournament with Casper players probably.
Well, they're going to focus on that. This is why, perhaps why Dallas doesn't have an open bracket. They don't have time to put into it. They're going to be focusing on the other things that are paying them monies.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's almost like StarCraft 2 is slipping into some kind of a show match series.
It's a lot of show matches, yeah.
So basically, PlanetSide 2 added to MLG means that it's a promotional title, as Semmler said, which it won't be. It means that the third game is still open, so StarCraft 2 is probably going to be announced. Is it already announced yet?
Sundance, if you're going to use Sundance.
It's definitely, in my opinion, going to be.
Parts has been announced.
But Call of Duty was, I think, a good choice. Halo some of the Halo pros have moved over. I learned that from NASL, The Pulse.
Oh, snap.
I was watching The Pulse.
What did you learn?
I was doing like that. Huh?
What did you learn?
I learned that they put a lot more work into their show than we do ours.
But it's still
shit.
Do
you mean it being all
It was
scripted?
really good.
I think it's quite bad.
I really like it.
It's all scripted. It's heartless. It's
but that's why I've scripted stuff this time. Kind of. I made notes and I drew a penis. Was that me? Sing.
Wasn't me.
Fucking asshole, sing. But I thought it was a really good show. I like The Pulse. We'll talk about that later as well. You should definitely watch it Sunday nights. But yeah, so PlanetSide 2, MLG likes money. Call of Duty 2, MLG wants the biggest game and the community that's active. That's fine.
Speaking of biggest game.
And then League of Legends, and then I think going to be StarCraft 2. But I don't expect anything fun really to come out of PlanetSide 2. But, if they're doing it there, they're putting up prize money and you're over in America, give it a shot. Why the fuck not? I mean, there's a lot of homeless esport players currently playing Shootmania in the attempts to win money at IPL.
What's the format for PlanetSide? Have they announced that?
2 planets.
Can't imagine.
You get one
side by side.
You get one
6
side each.
million players against each other.
I mean, are they doing like 15 on 15 or something? I mean, it's a huge game.
I think they're gonna work on developing it.
Honestly, if you enjoy PlanetSide, you should try running marathons, or going on cross country, or something along those lines. Because 99% of the time, that game is running. You are running from one place to another, and then it's like, oh shit, somebody's shooting at me. I'm dead.
Well,
Let's go back to running.
That's they said, I hear.
That's they said too.
I mean, what are battles
fucking
like?
love that
could
shit,
could it be funny one-on-one?
What's this?
What are the battles like? Could it be funny playing one-on-one, like infantry only?
Can't picture it.
I don't know enough, really.
No, I tried it.
You were playing it, right?
Yeah, I tried it. I tried it. I spent time on it, and I was just because it was free, and I was bored, and I was like, oh, let's try this. And just spent so much time running. I was insanely bored the entire time. I was like, there's nothing going on. And then you find a fight and you just insta die because you're getting sniped by guys up in hills and shit. And then you're just like, okay, well this is great. What do? Nothing. Like you just
People
don't really
like
do
it
anything.
seems
Sounds
to like
like
the
a
game,
story of
though,
an angry noob.
Yeah, maybe I haven't spent too much time, enough time with the game to really learn the depth.
Right, Metabi says, right, you've got in a fight with Metabi now, he's calling you out. Metabi says, has played a lot of PlanetSide 2, and if you're running the entire time, you're doing it wrong. There's a lot of mobile spawn points.
Oh, come on, yeah, no, you click on the map and you spawn there. You're still running. Hold on, there's a lot of mobile spawn points, and the scale of battles is quite immense.
You know what I'm going to do for you? In Reborn, I'm going to remove running.
Everyone's
going to be on, like, hoverpeds with laser beams.
These time crisis games.
In your face, Sundance. You didn't come out of that idea, did you? Painting that shit. Don't shake your head at me, Hellspawn.
I was thinking, like, Reborn being a fast-paced shooter, but it's so big, so you have to run for days to find someone. I don't know.
Oh, I tweeted Sundance, actually.
Want to buy my game?
No, he said, he was like,
he
was like, I can get Skrillex. Should I get him? Because I can. And then he also said, Psy at MLG, do you want it? Because I'm the man who can make it happen. And so I replied to him, what did I say? It's on my tweet. It's gone now. But it was something like, of course you can make it happen. Or of course you can get it. Yeah, that was it. Of course you can get him. You can get anybody you want, Sundance, because you just get it. I thought it was really funny. But no one probably understood the joke. But I had 2 retweets.
I think Graycon said something, I believe it when I see it, or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that as well. So,
although
yeah,
DreamHack connections with Psy might happen.
Oh,
Too late. You should have had him 6 months.
But basically, as far as we can confirm with the MLG story, then is Sundance gone batshit crazy. He's gonna get Psy and Skrillex over to MLG and make an FPS title.
They're gonna play PlanetSide 2 1-on-1.
And PlanetSide 2 is gonna be 1-on-1. No running.
But if you have one arena with Skrillex having a concert, and then you have another arena with Psy having a concert, and then all the attendees play PlanetSide, you might have esports.
Massive esports.
We're going to a break.
Yeah.
Where we will continue to beat Hellspawn senseless until we come back. When we come back, we'll be going into Dota 2 and then some StarCraft. So we're going to rotate some people around. And of course, the best thing at the end of the show, in very NASL style, I've written some stuff, prepared, pre-production. You don't want to miss this. It's the best part of the fucking show. It's going to be at the end. It's magical. Welcome back to The Good Show, where we talk about esports. We're going into Dota 2. We're powered by Asus, and this is not live. It's all pre-recorded. We're currently out lifting. Shut up, NewmaN. Just to recall, some people are asking in chat, one person, but he might buy it, so I've got to tell him. That one person, whatever you ask, creates, can the Good Studio mousepads be shipped to the North Pole? Yes. wEppas will deliver it in person, €10, and it's worldwide shipping. Doesn't matter where the fuck you are. You could just be anywhere.
I'll ride there on my polar bear.
And that's why he's on the show. That's why he's here.
You're going to have a fleet of victory cats dragging the sled.
Just get my polar bear.
And we're going to Dota 2 segment now, which is why we've got wEppas. Hello, wEppas.
Hello.
And also a random sing-sing. Finally, someone gets to see you.
Hold on, let's look at the chat. Oh my God!
You need a haircut, Sing. You need a haircut.
Yeah.
You need a haircut. Stylish. Look at that.
You haven't been on camera much at all. You haven't been streaming much lately. What have you been doing?
Scrimming all day for like the past 2 weeks is it already, I think.
How's the new team with the scrims?
It's great actually. Feels really good, especially our third member. Well, EGM. It's playing really good, better than expected.
You're not meant to announce that kind of stuff. We do it Friday.
Well,
well, fuck it. EGM's in the team.
Fuck you, gents. I don't care.
Also, great news for you, Sing Sing. You know, own3d.tv, with them shutting down, is what's going to be happening. I've heard rumors, nothing's true, so don't get too excited, but I've heard rumors that rather than paying people out the money that they owe them, they're potentially going to be taking the money that they're earning off people now and currently to repay the investors so they lose as little as possible, so the corporate scum fucking assholes get their money back, and then you won't be earning anything from your 3 months of streaming. That's the rumors that's been going around. There you go, buddy. So congratulations. We hope you've enjoyed your time over there on own3d.tv, and we'll be signing you up obviously to YouTube Live or Azubu, who are paying lots of money.
Daily Motion as well as an option.
And that is actually rumors that I've been told. I spoke to some people who had contracts, and they kind of gave me an inkling of what might be happening. I hope to fuck that won't happen, and the people will get their money. But of course, actually, I've confirmed, I can't really say that, I don't really know. Sources tell me that Slasher might be having that interview with Oleg from Own3D, yeah. So we'll see what happens. So you should definitely tune into Live on Free, and Sing is roughly $6K lighter. Less money, less problems.
Less problems.
So watch Live on Free in case that is going to be what's happening, and Slasher will probably tweet about it, etc. But let's move into Dota 2, as that is where we are. The first thing that we can talk about is, of course, the Dota buff situation, Semmler.
Yeah, the Dota buff situation. Valve apparently essentially changing something in their software that doesn't allow Dota buff, which is a website where it collected stats on matches, players, everything Dota related essentially. It's caused them to shut down because apparently they don't want to use the web API.
Well, basically, yeah.
Shut down and they came back up.
Okay, basically, Valve in their game in Dota 2 don't show your matchmaking number.
That's something completely separate from the... Okay, well, go ahead.
Okay. So Valve didn't show the matchmaking number, right? Which is and the matchmaking number is like if you played Hon and you were like in Hon and you had a number next to your name when you joined games, that basically said how big your E-Ping was. If your E-Ping was small, people would treat you like shit, just like they do in real life. They would make you be support. Not talking from experience here.
Your EP, what was it?
It would just really mean to me, and then it can cause this kind of community like upset. And Valve have always been quite clever in terms of what they've done. So they didn't show the matchmaking ranking. They didn't allow for conceding. When you're losing a game or you want to concede, you have that in Hon where you can just basically, we concede, we give up, you won. And they didn't do that. And I went over to the Valve offices over at the International, and they asked me what I thought of not having conceding. I was like, it's fucking brilliant, because I hate it when I'm in a game 15 minutes in and my team wants to give up when there's actually a chance you can win. And if you are winning a game in Dota 2 and you're going into your last 10 minutes, you have the right to fountain dive. Your stream would be nothing without fountain diving and force-staffing people into fountains.
Allies, no less.
Yes, that's the best part. So the thing is, you earn your imbalance and you earn that, and Valve have been, I think, very clever about this. Now, Dota Buff, obviously they grab a lot of statistics from Dota 2 to make this great website. And one of the statistics they started grabbing was your matchmaking. Now, in terms of your matchmaking ranking, Valve, probably didn't want that to be shown. But also, Dota Buff had the business model where they would allow you to pay money to be able to see these kind of statistics across different accounts, etc. So originally it came out and you were like, you could check it yourself what it was, and they listed the top 50. So Valve were like, okay, we don't really want this information. I can guess, talking from my own point of view. They ended up changing how the information was grabbed and what information was grabbed, and Dota 2 Buff said that pretty much forced them to close their website. Now there's a lot more to this behind the scenes, because I have a lot of people talking to me, and as far as I can confirm, Dota 2 ended up pissing off a lot of people. In my opinion, and no, not Dota 2. Dota Buff ended up pissing off a lot of people, and they should have been pissed off on the other side. So, and Dota Buff have kind of gone this whole way where they're like, it's Valve's fault. This has happened, and we've had to shut our doors. And they also put like IceFrog's email on the thing, like for complaints and shit.
Yeah, contact.
Yeah.
So.
Show your support.
And they handled it so badly, and the stuff that I'm getting written to me on Skype, I'm just like, what the fuck are these guys doing with their business? This isn't how you interact with a publisher or game developer if you want to work with them. And I have no one else to blame apart from Dota Buff on this situation, because there's so much more to it behind the scenes, and maybe we get to go into that in the next when we can actually confirm like some things. But generally, do you think it was a good idea? Do you think it's good for the community? Dota 2 pros in the corner, even though you lost us a staff cup single-handedly, which we'll talk about later, wEppas. Do you think it's a good idea that they, don't show that statistic, Valve, or do you think they Dota Buff and them being able to show that statistic and monetize essentially it was more important because it's theirs to do?
Well, I don't care.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Singh.
So
Well done.
That's the thing, like people on the higher levels, they don't really care about the rating because they know they're up there already. Because it's like, when you're in very high, you're the top 5% anyways, and it's like, it doesn't really matter because you just play to have fun and just try and improve yourself. You don't need ratings for that. But like the lower levels are kind of upset, like they just want to know like rating and use it to flame people, and like they check win percentages and stuff, and it's like, it doesn't matter what win percentage you have. Like when they released that rating, you could see like, what was it? You had like 51% because you've been playing so much with us, so you lost from like 80 or something. And he's still like top 30 in the world. And he's like, doesn't matter. Like, and people are using.
What do you think about the community growth and how the community overall, as a mass, and we all know masses is generally stupid.
What do you
But how do you think they would handle it if, like, StarCraft 2, you don't have your MMR showing, right? But you have leagues and divisions.
And
Yeah,
you can check on somebody
leagues
as
I think are good, but it's just the rating. Like,
Do you think rating is? Do you think showing the rating is
like
bad?
the personal number is wrong because it's a team game.
Exactly.
If something, it should be team leagues
Yeah.
and team rankings.
Yes,
it's
I
like
agree.
it should be like EG can sign up to matchmaking and they get a ranking in their teams.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I
But
agree.
it shouldn't be like personal rankings
And-
because it's not a personal game. Even though you solo matchmake, it's still not the same
It's the
thing.
same thing. There's different roles in each team, and it's impossible to quantify your role in the game. There's no way you're going to be able to actually say, this guy's playing support really well, and his team may be winning because of him, but because he's not carrying and getting 20 kills and shit like that, how would you quantify him doing well if he's just buying sentry wards and placing them everywhere and getting good initiates?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way to make it work in a constructive manner. The
Yeah.
only way it's going to do it, the only thing it would do is hurt people in a sense.
Well, yeah, we'll sum this up as quick as we can because it's probably going to be boring for people to listen to our opinions on this because, we shouldn't be doing that on the
Is that the
show.
point, or
More jokes. Yeah, team games, in terms of when you've got individuals playing as a team, there's no reason to show matchmaking because it can just cause unnecessary problems and it doesn't really have any way of like helping. Like you should listen to me because I'm higher ranked, or you should play this because you're lower. In terms of 1v1 games, like in the Quake Live community, there's a site called QL Ranks which shows your exact ELO based off what you've got in terms of results, and that's fine because it's for the duel, it's for the 1v1. So for team MMR, when they hopefully implement something where teams can actually queue as a entity, where they have the set players, then that's fine to show that. I think that's really interesting and really decent. But I think I think overall it's good. I don't necessarily know if it's good what Valve did because I don't know all the ins and outs between them and Dota Buff, but I definitely think it's it's their decision, and I don't disagree with it. So
No, it's perfectly fine. It's also a matter of having the web API. They have an option to get information, statistics, gain results, etc. It's all there. You just have to go through the web API. And the thing that Dota Buff aren't doing is that they had something else working for them. They were going through a different way, and Valve didn't want that way to be open. It's perfectly within their right to shut that door and say, we have this available door for you to use to get our information. If you want to use it, feel free. And Dota Buff refused to do so. They want to keep doing it in the way that they've been doing it, and if Valve want to shut that down, they have every right to do it. There's nothing to do about it. And Dota Buff have just dug themselves a deeper hole with the way that they've gone about the entire situation.
I mean, the only good thing that came out of it, apparently, is Period and Flax. His rating was 1270, and if you were lower than that, get ready to cry. Who's in chat right now. We've actually got Hellspawn and NewmaN off on the corner with standing microphones, ready to sing a song. What did NewmaN fucking do?
Tweeted a fucking behind the scenes from the studio picture.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Did you see that?
What the fuck?
Motherfucker.
Behind the scenes.
Paparazzi. We didn't give you permission to
This
give that
son
out.
of a bitch.
I'm never going to let you interview my players again. You burnt that bridge, you fucking asshole. And what else? And and you're a bad journalist. What?
Even got your toilet paper roll.
Yeah. I had toilet paper here because I did something very funny in the studio.
Is the microphone on?
Yes, it's on. We need to keep it.
But you
Can
won't
come
see
handy.
what.
Can come handy.
No. This is something completely different. You'll see it now, but when I came into the studio to do the
What's
DLC
your
cast,
rating in
Fucking
Dota
nasty.
2 when you checked it?
No clue.
Probably lower than 1270. Have some tissue. Cry on Pyrian Flaxes. No, I have this in here because I did a skit. I did like a video that's gonna be somewhere, and yeah, and I left all the tissue paper around, and everyone was like, "What the fuck has Jay done?"
everyone.
You.
I'm the one who came down here. I didn't want to touch it. I saw it sitting on the desk, and I'm standing there going, "What the fuck is this? What's been going on in the studio?" It's disgusting.
2 out of 10 got the Alex joke. Thank you very much for getting the Alex joke. All right, so we'll move on. So Dota buff, yeah, basically probably pissed off Valve, and there's more to come on that a little bit later. So we'll see how that one ties up. Other Dota 2 news, 3 things going on. SEA League announced, first qualifier also finished. Dreams, Legion, and First Departure qualified. wEppas is going to fill us in.
Wow.
Don't make that weird, wEppas.
To be honest, I didn't actually watch those games, but I looked it up to see which one qualified. I actually know it, but they're gonna have qualifiers and.
What is the SEA? What is that? Brilliant.
I didn't read up on that actually. That was like the only thing I didn't read up on actually.
The only obvious
Yeah, I know.
question.
But that was the only thing I didn't read up on.
But you
I
can
just looked up the teams to make sure to know
But you
what
can
teams
answer all the other
qualified.
questions. All right.
I
So
think so.
who played for Dreams Legion?
Dreams. I didn't look. I looked up the teams. I fucking went through.
This is fucking brilliant.
You have to be mad.
Okay, I'm out.
If you want to watch more
But we
Dota
talked-
2
I think
news
we
and know
talked
what's
about
going on,
SEA
make sure to
last
check
week.
out NASL's The Pulse. By far the best esport talk show out there. They don't have wEppas. Right, wEppas. We've really...
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't read up
Southeast
on it.
Asian League.
Yeah. Well, quite obvious with that name.
You didn't tell us!
Oh my god.
First, the ban and drafts at the Staff Cup, you sabotaged our team. And now you're sabotaging the Dota 2 segment, wEppas. This is not a good show. Do you know anything about this? Just
I only have a Dota 2 shirt. I don't know anything. I'm not in the expert
Where's
corner. I'm in the
Drasko?
offside corner now.
Alright.
So.
Okay.
Where's Drasko when you need him?
We're
I don't think
benched,
Drasko
don't
knows
talk.
shit about
Let's just,
SEA
remove,
League
let's just
anyways.
remove that from
Yeah,
the
let's
document
remove
and pretend it never
Dreams
happened.
and First Departure moved on.
So,
with Mythcross
so
and
Dota buff
another
situation,
thing.
we've only got 2 more bits of news for you here in the Dota 2 section. Of course, wEppas will be able to fill you in on. That is the ESL announces Dota 2 with format released. We've talked a little bit about it, wEppas, but I'm sure you've got some interesting information for us.
Well,
and
did you talk about the format?
no,
It's
you should have been watching
really
the show.
fucking weird.
We're not going to tell you, but go for it.
Well, did you talk about the format, like with the groups and how it's built up?
No, we
No,
haven't talked about it.
no.
No.
We just kind of
No, we
skimmed
wa-
over the details.
That's why you're
Well,
here.
and
We
rated.
want to know.
Okay.
We're all ears. Prone. Tell us a story.
Oh, okay. So basically, the format is that it's 4 stages, and you have 16 teams from the A series, which is the league that ESL got.
Is that
Uh,
European only? Those
No,
that
the
stages?
league is not European only.
Ah.
The league everybody can place in, and that's how the American teams can get into the LAN finals. But so since they haven't had a season before, they said that you can write an application to be one of the 8 pro teams for this tournament. And the 8 teams get invited to 4 cups where you gather points. And then you have the A series, which is the league, where you play games against others, and the top 16 teams from that gets it into the cups as well. So you have 24 teams in 4 cups. And then, depending on the placement you get in those cups, you gather points. And then you have the 12 teams from those 4 cups moves into group stages. And in the group stages, the top 4 teams from the A series, the top 4 American teams from the A series, gets moved into the group stages, which is 4 groups of 4, and then top 2 teams from there, from every group, moves into the LAN finals. And then the top 80, or those teams in LAN finals, gets to be the next 8 pro teams from to the next season. And I have no idea if you covered it, but yeah.
Perfectly clear.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
very concise. Very concise.
I have no idea what you just said, but you have beautiful eyes.
Gives.
Just sign us up and tell us which games to play, man.
Maybe James can write you an application to be one of the 8 pro teams.
I want to enter with our studio team.
Okay. Draskell can draft.
You're lucky you're pretty, wEppas.
Draskell can draft.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
TPL,
I just think the format...
is the
I don't
format
know.
good?
It's kind of weird because they call it cups, where it's like actually qualifiers for group stage somehow, and it just feels weird, but it kind of makes sense when you read up on it a bit. But it's just like they force people to play their league and use like their system where they sign up for games to be able to get matches. They don't get assigned. No, but they don't get assigned games. They sign up for games.
We're gonna have Hellspawn with his Dota 2 t-shirt on.
Yeah, formats I do know some of. I like that they have a ladder. I like that they have cups, and I think they are cups. I mean, they are 1 day or something like that. I guess.
2-day cups, I think.
And
2-day cups.
I like that everything leading up to a system where they have LAN finals. So will be a lot of content. Will be a lot of like for players and teams to build something on, and to get higher on the ladder, getting into cups, getting into the LAN finals, winning the big prize money. So I love it. 4 seasons or over the year, perfect. A lot of Dota. I think it's really good.
I think the money's more important than anything, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, for ESL, I think it's a good business model decision as well. They usually charge this ESL premium thingy for playing in their cups and their biggest tournaments online. So this is probably generating a lot of revenue for them as well. I'm guessing at least.
Okay.
I just wonder if they're going to cast anything from their A series to League. If they're going to cast any of those games, or if they're only going to come to cups.
ESL are looking, I think, for full-time Dota 2 commentators.
So they're going to try and cast as many League games as well.
So
but it just feels weird with the whole American situation, where with the teams there.
The American teams get put into the groups.
Yeah, if they are the top 4 American teams in the league. So if there's only 4 teams signing up, they don't have to play a single game, and they'll be in the groups anyways.
All right. So anyway, I've got a note here from MetaB in chat, who communicates us via the interwebs. Magic. The only weird part really is the fact that the European teams have to do well against professional teams, and the US teams get put into the group stage. It's like giving a freebie to the US. So also, though, the interesting implication of this tournament and how much exposure they're going to do, probably commentating, we don't know for sure with ESL, is that their main rival now, in terms of the Dota 2 content and the LANs, is going to be StarLadder. StarLadder, of course, were doing 4 LAN finals a year, mainly European focused, because the Americans just weren't flying over, so they stopped entering.
I think they banned the American teams from going.
Yeah, but like it's ESL and StarLadder are both going to have their own kind of product, which could be quite similar because they both have heavy online sections. The other interesting thing about that, though, that we should take into account is ESL, they will of course bring in. I want to say a different kind of viewership, because StarLadder bring in a huge, Russian, Eastern European viewership as well, which is great, that maybe ESL don't always bring. But ESL are also working with World of Tanks, which is a big way to get exposure that side of stuff, as well as StarLadder. So they both have the contacts over there. But it'll be interesting to see who does better out of viewership when they both come around to the LAN finals and what their products look like online. So let's move on to our last piece of news before we go to player changes in Dota 2. The Premier League Season 4 Open Qualifiers has been announced. Maximum 128 teams.
I believe it's going to be 2 qualifiers, and I don't know, it's different on different sites, because on Joy Dota it says 64 teams for 1 qualifier, and there it says 128, because it says that TPL is going to host one of their qualifiers, and NA Dota is going to host one of the qualifiers for different casters, and then I think it's 1 team from each qualifier moves on to play in the TPL season.
Yeah. There's 2 slots available to get into the actual tournament for $10,000. Sing, will you be entering?
I think we'll just get an invite as usual.
Easy life.
Jesus. I'm glad you lost your own 3D money with that attitude.
No.
Yeah, so the start of the tournament is going to be Sunday, February the 3rd, and the deadline to sign up is January the 31st if you're interested in entering. 128 teams, you might as well if you've got something to do in Dota 2. But yeah, the Premier League back for Season 4. They've lost a lot of traction, actually, the Premier League, in terms of just being there and constantly bringing good online coverage because there's so many people doing other stuff. You've got your EG Masters with Raid Cool. You've still got your Star Ladder, and Dota 2 is just picking up. So I think the online cups are going to lose a lot of heavy hitters in terms of teams. You were bringing your microphone up to your face.
Yeah, you were observant on that part. No, but I think that the defense, TPL, and Star Ladder, like, which were the first ones, maybe you could say, they have lost a lot of interest. And I think that, like you said, the EG one and also EMS one, they're going to be the ones attracting the big numbers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to have G League and the other Chinese tournaments being on top.
Well, it's a new tournament, so people want to see how it does. Because TPL, they've done 3 seasons now. Star Ladder's done 4 seasons. The defense is on its 3rd season. So it's just the same tournament. Or I mean, it's different teams and different players, but it's still kind of the same tournament over
Same
and over.
product,
So
yeah.
So
Okay.
people want to see what the new stuff is.
All right, and so player changes. Orange. What? It just says Orange here.
Yeah,
It's a Facebook
he had a
announcement.
Facebook announcement, but
I love
2
Facebook
weeks
announcements,
ago?
by the way. They're
no,
good.
that was
We should do more of them.
at the end of last week. I believe they announced the new players that was joining, and that was Net and Ohio from MUFC.
Yeah. So they drop
Joining.
Winter and Ice, and they take Ohio and Net to complete the Orange lineup. What do you make of these switches?
Well, Ohio played really well when he played with MUFC, and people really started to pay a lot more attention, at least lately, to him. And he's a really good player, so it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to work out with the team.
What's Winter doing? Anybody know?
Casting, maybe?
Huh?
Commentating in Beyond the Summit and
Yeah.
playing for them.
Probably.
Just gonna stay for the commentary though.
Most likely. Commentate more.
But is he not interested in playing? Do we know that? Like,
I think
doesn't-
he is interested in playing. It's just
Staff,
really
next
know.
staff cup is gonna be
Teams.
pretty damn hard.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Singh? Net and Ohio?
I really hate speculation about teams whether they're gonna do well or not. You just gotta see for yourself before you can judge.
Yeah.
Fantastic answer, seeing well done.
Da.
10 points.
Like a pro.
Yeah, but seriously, Dota is way too much about synergy and chemistry between players. You can't just say this player is gonna join this team and gonna do well. You really just gotta see.
Okay. All right, but they Orange reforms. TCM Gaming signs Sven Hunters. TCM is Team Cooler Master, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Team Cooler Master, they're still around. That's interesting, I didn't know that. Signed the Dota team, which were previously known as Sven Hunters, which is is it a Swedish lineup?
Yeah, full Swedish team with, Go Audio, Verne, Quicks, Blueberry Ninja, and Go Audio, Verne, Quicks, Blueberry Ninja, and I can't remember the last one.
We didn't expect you to, wEppas, in all fairness.
It's so annoying because I know them. It's so annoying because I know them.
All right,
I
I can find it for
the
you,
last person.
just so you can kick yourself. Could you stop gossiping in the corner?
Yeah, it's a full Swedish roster anyways.
What did you say?
You can get
Go
this new
Audio,
channel. It's
Blueberry
called
Ninja,
NewmaN Show.
Wern,
It's the gossip behind
Quicks,
the side.
and CHW.
oh yeah, Shui. How
Yeah.
could I forget Shui?
How could you? Yeah. Anyway, so how good are they as a team?
Decent. They've been beating like the top teams in Europe at least. It's not like they're the strongest team right now, but they've been doing well and they're improving a lot. So
They beat us in the scrim.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
What's that? They beat you in a scrim.
Da.
but yeah, I don't know much about TCM, so I guess you can.
Yeah, Team Cooler
So
Master
awesome.
was something they started a while ago. Cooler Master were quite into esports, but they're quite a small company compared to other ones. Because, sorry, just because of how big they are as a company and how much they end up selling. So they they haven't done a lot for a while, and I think TCM was quite UK focused a little while ago, back in like CS days and stuff. But you know more about this.
TCM Gaming, they're a UK organization.
It is UK organization.
Yeah, they were called Team Cooler Master, then they switched to TCM Gaming because I think Team Cooler Master basically cut their budget a bit. But yeah, I mean, they've been the.
Only says TCM Gaming is not Team Cooler Master. It's just TCM.
Yeah, it's TCM Gaming. Yeah, they changed.
Oh,
name
it's
to
TCM Gaming.
Yeah.
I thought it was Team Cooler Master.
No, they changed names to TCM Gaming when they cut their budget.
But they used to be in Cooler Master, right?
They used to be Team Cooler Master. Now they're TCM Gaming.
Ah, okay.
People used to call them TCM anyway.
Living in the past.
They've always been probably the second biggest team in the UK, behind us basically. But they've been decently sized team, picking up mid-tier teams in every game basically.
All right, so they've got a good reputation.
Yeah.
So the Swedish guys shouldn't be worried.
No. It depends what they've been promised, but TCM is usually good guys. I mean, one of the Fnatic managers, Neil.
Yeah, I know.
He's still in the organization.
Okay, yeah. All right, okay. Well, that's a good pickup for both of them then. We'll see how that goes, and it's nice that they got the opportunity. Thank you, Odie, for letting us in, and also NewmaN for clearing that up. Rox KIS sign a Dota 2 team. Apparently, we didn't mention it last week, so
Yeah.
that's a Russian organization.
Yeah, and they signed XX5, which had a few players from the old Moscow Fire, which the Moscow Fire that was created after the international when they dropped the full roster, which is the only two I recognize on that team is Stadianer, or however you say his name, and Sidoy.
Okay,
so
cool.
Those two.
So you can, if you're interested in following them, check them out. But otherwise, that's it for our player changes. People are asking, I've got it in bold here. It says, Sing's new team is getting announced Friday, so stop asking about it.
Mm-hmm. They ask me all the time on my stream.
Basically, what will happen
Someone asks me, I answer the question, and 30 seconds later, a different person asks me, or they just like someone new.
I'll tell you what we do, just so people have a little bit more fun with it. We do a show on Friday. We bring Sing on. We announce the team live. We put the post up on the internet. We talk to the team over Skype with what their expectations are and what they're going to be doing. And you guys can ask them questions, and then they can go stream and scrim and do whatever they want. And yeah, so that way it's a little bit more awesome.
This Friday.
Sing's like, will I be doing that? I'm like, yes, you will.
Remember the first.
So we'll try and get a time. So maybe we do like 7, 8 p.m. But we'll put it up. But obviously you don't need to watch it. It's only for people that are really interested in the team. If you just generally don't care, you'll see a website post somewhere. So don't tune in just because you think it's going to be an awesome show, because it won't be.
And Slasher will announce it tomorrow. Yeah.
Slasher's going to announce it tomorrow. Yeah. In terms of tournament results, the defense tiebreakers are now going to be streamed on Twitch TV. So join Dota over there. What's going on with the defense tiebreakers? Are they?
The last tiebreaker was played just like 30 minutes ago or 50 minutes ago.
Was that Na'Vi 3D Max?
Yeah, and I didn't catch the end, but I think Na'Vi won in the end.
I think Na'Vi lost.
They lost in the end?
I think Scriff told me they lost.
Because it ended like when we went on again. But yeah, so
but 3D Max are playing really good, I heard.
Yeah, and it's pretty much they played for who's going to be in the winners bracket and who's going to be in the losers bracket.
Okay, so both of them will be qualifying, and but yeah, check out the results of that and watch the VOD if you haven't. But it's meant to be a really good game, and of course, the results for the Staff Cup.
I'm out.
Of course, there was a big tournament happened recently.
I predicted kind of well, I think.
And we entered. We didn't try. We just wanted to give it. No, we tried really hard, and we were really fucking sad.
We tried too hard.
Then basically we ended up losing. We got beat by the French, but I was so fucking happy. I'll tell you why. Because the French team, they beat Toby in the finals, and I could not let Toby have those bragging rights. So I was so happy, because now I can say Toby just had an easy bracket to the finals, and we lost to the French, but it was earlier on. But congratulations to the French players and the French team that won it. It was a really fun cup, and 4PL, who were the organisation that put it on. And basically, we sucked a lot of dick that whole tournament. We played absolutely shit. And it
We
was
just tried too hard with the draft, man. It's like you said at the end. We should have just played heroes that we wanted to play instead of trying to pick
like we
good
won.
heroes.
We won the first FNAF Cup. We entered
By
we just
playing
picked,
shit we
by
wanted
just
to
saying
play.
what can you play and what do you like playing, and then we picked those heroes. This one,
We gave Pacey Shadow Demon 4 games in a row.
we gave Paisley Shadow Demon, and no offense, Paisley.
Shadow Demon is not
no
good.
offense, Paisley. We're removing you from ever playing Shadow Demon again. He was just trigger happy on disruption.
Well, isn't it that he's never played Shadow Demons before, and you guys are just like, Shadow Demon's really good. You're gonna play him. And
Well, though, because we put faith in wEppas and Draskell's going to blame the shit out of us anyway. He's already written us
he
off
already
as
did. He was just like, I played great. 4 other guys.
Yeah, he was going to
He
throw
was
us
like,
under
I
the
won
bus
my
if we
lane
were
every
something.
game, and then we lost the match. I don't know. And then so basically, so we put our faith in good bans and picks because we thought that mattered. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, Sing, does it?
Doesn't fucking matter, man.
Exactly. And then I had to play fucking Darkseer twice. That pointy-headed purple twat. He's boring as fuck. And I wanted to play cool shit.
Yeah.
No.
Told you,
And
pick
I-
fucking bounty. You win the game.
Dude, I know. I was like, give
not
me a
even, man.
bounty. Give me, like, you know, something fun.
Yes.
And I just wanted to fight. And so we tried to play it like professional gamers, and we weren't professional gamers, and we lost. And then we blamed
We just
wEppas.
tried to.
Well, no, it gets worse than that, actually. You guys picked AM. You're AM pickers.
We had to pick AM to
You're
win.
AM
Yeah.
pickers,
twice.
and you still lost. Like,
AM and TA.
You won with it.
Yeah,
No.
we won one game
won
with
one
TA.
game
Fuck
with
you.
TA. But the other
Either
one-
way, hopefully you enjoyed
When I
it.
played TA, I went like 22 and 2.
we want, we
I'm
want
not
to.
shit talking to you. I mean, it's not like it's a broken
No, but
hero
we
or
won
anything.
with AM that game.
Draskell won with AM.
But Sing,
No, I won with TA.
you said before something about team synergy. Would you say that was the problem?
What do you mean?
Actually, we have a big problem with team synergy. I'll tell you why, right? I'm going to break this motherfucker down to you because I've been in a lot of teams and successful teams, and I've also been in threesomes. They've also worked out. It's all about the synergy. It's what you do. So anyway,
Okay.
I watched the free on. It was on the internet, but I felt like I was there, and you could tell. Anyway, what was going on was this is how it is, right? Draskell, very good player, likes to farm a lot. Okay. The thing I've noticed about Draskell is he wants one more item than anyone else in the fucking game before he thinks he can win. He likes gold. That guy is after the gold. He's after the money, right? So he wants to play like the standard Dota game where he's like, I'm farming, I'm doing my thing, we're winning, we win when I'm ready, you know? wEppas, our other professional player, as we like to call him, wEppas is basically a pussy.
Tight pussy.
He doesn't want to fight sometimes. He's not initiating on puck. What the fuck were you doing on puck, man? You weren't initiating on puck. We needed you in there. And you had said you had ping problems, but we needed you.
Yeah, I
we needed
did. I
your
had 200
mana.
MS.
You needed your mana, right? And you're a momentum player. When things are going good, you're doing good. When they're not going good, you don't even say yeah. You say no, and that's when we know we've got a problem. Scriff,
No, that's,
Scriff, best.
Scriff's the anchor. Yeah.
Scriff's the anchor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Scriff.
he carried on me now.
He goes in, he does what's needed to be done, he synergizes with the team, he plays whatever roles needed,
switch
you know,
balance.
and he's got a great goatee.
Yeah, he's a
To
BLC
boot.
player, so go figure. I mean, it's only
Yeah.
natural that he would be the best player on the team.
Um,
Enough said.
Paisley, you know, obviously Paisley hasn't been keeping up with Dota so much as us, and we gave him shit heroes, so we can't really criticize him, but he's German.
We call him Pinky and Mouse.
You called him Pinky.
Yes, but his face is always pink.
His face is always pink. Okay.
Face is the
I
best.
don't know how to break myself down as a Dota player, but I want to fight too much. I get bored. I just want to fucking fight, right? Because the thing is, I played with Sing. I get fucking bored if I'm not killing shit. And this one game, I had to play Darkseer, who's already fucking boring. I don't have anything else to do apart from wait. And I was literally on Darkseer. I was so fucking bored. I was standing outside of base, just hoping they would come and start a fight with me as I stood there. And then Paisley would come in and disrupt me. Because I was like, guys, fuck it. I'll just stand out here. Obviously, I'm going to die. but let's fucking fight. And then they come in, and then Paisley was meant to disrupt me. Then I come out and mech, I wall, I do all my cool shit. I look awesome simultaneously. And then we actually have a fight. And what I was meant to do was sit in base behind a tower with my thumb up my ass. And that's boring, and I can't do that. So I'm overly aggressive, and I just want to fight and die, but I think it's more fun. And so we just don't have this team synergy. We need to work on this.
We need a new mid player, and I'll go down to support so you can play offlane.
Okay.
That's just how it is,
you
man.
didn't hit one wall with Darkseer?
But I did die.
Yeah,
I
he
did. I
One. No, I don't know. He did some good.
Vacuum and then wall. I always thought it was wall and you vacuum
Well,
through the wall.
depends on the situation, but
Yeah.
most of the times you want to wall, you want to vacuum into, but sometimes you can drop vacuum before.
I need to have cool heroes. I'm like you.
Yeah.
Go in, kill, give me a Slaughter, I'm gonna dominate.
But you
Slaughter. Yeah, bro.
It's like you feed. He's not killing when
Hellspawn,
you
you have to play with us sometime.
Seriously, man. We haven't played at all.
Yeah.
Come on.
Anyway, so we're going to try and set up a show match with Beyond the Summit to get that best of 3 going in the future. But either way, it was a really fun cup. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Next time we won't try as hard.
Next time we're going to fucking win. And I'm not listening. Like, I don't know who's
Next
going to
time
be
we
team
won't
captain.
try that hard,
Yeah.
and we'll win.
So sorry we disappointed anybody, but hopefully you enjoyed the stream. And thanks for 4
GG in a minute, man.
Yeah, my commentators.
Yo, did you see by the way on Wikipedia? They had like English caster, Sinren, Russian caster, who was it, like Casper or someone, and then Canadian caster, Adebisi.
Yeah. Oh, he must have been proud for that. I mean, he hates
They have it up on Wikipedia, it's so good.
Hey, oh, dude, I mean, he's all like, a boot? I don't know what he's going to do about this.
It was fun to follow Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was funny. It was
Yeah.
funny.
It was
Mike's
like,
great.
this is my caster buddy, took a whiskey down, started casting.
Yeah, so anyway, that's our Dota 2 segment. We did suck initially, and we're going to fix that. And hopefully we'll do some more stuff. We'll see when we can get BTS to play. So we'll ask them for bragging rights, of course. And speaking of Mike, that's where we're going next, because when we come back, we're going on to StarCraft 2. So thanks, Singh, for...
welcome.
You're welcome.
Da.
And wEppas, well done with all your news segments. I feel like we've accomplished nothing, but yet I have a satisfied feeling.